And why is recovery so important? Well, when a person has a concussion or traumatic brain injury, it hurts, and it starts hurting their life and starts affecting them in school. And there's a lot of different things that kids go through that they wish they didn't have to go through it. All right. So I'm going to introduce you to Lily and her mother, Amy. And they're going to tell you about their story and the recovery process through the office, so that she's recovered and she's doing great in school. She's got herself back, and she's a really lovely kid. You know what I mean? I tell you what, I had so much fun treating her. I really had a blast. Every time she came in, she made me laugh. And laughter was good for me, and laughter was good for her too. So Lily, tell us what happened initially to you.
So I'm a cheerleader for my school, and I was basing a stunt, and my flyer fell on top of me and kneed me in the head, and then my base also fell on top of me, so I hit my head multiple times. Yeah. And then
what happened afterwards? Did you go to a doctor?
I waited a day because I had a game the next day, and we weren't sure if I was going to be able to go or not. And then she took me to the ER in the morning, and they said that I had post-concussive syndrome. But they didn't do like any tests or anything. They just told me that I needed to wait.
Mm-hmm. So you went into a waiting game.
Yeah.
Did you feel better from waiting?
No.
No.
Not at all.
And you also started to get depressed because you figured you're getting behind in school. You couldn't get back to school. You couldn't be on the computer. You were tired. You were headachy. You were dizzy. Mm-hmm. And then when did you come back into our office to start your treatment?
Probably like 3 weeks after my concussion.
About 3 weeks. And when I met Lily was in our waiting room. And I walked up to her. She had her sunglasses on because she had really severe light sensitivity. Mm-hmm. And when she got up, it was like, whoa, is the world shaking? Is there an earthquake going on? Right? And she really kind of stepped lightly, like really slowly walked back to this office for the examination.
She couldn't even walk up steps at that point.
Yeah, I held on to her.
Yeah.
So we did some visual exercises after the examination. We did some vestibular reflex movements with her head, and you felt like light sensitivity decreased. Yeah, very quickly. It responded very quickly, and she could walk better when after her first treatment. So we knew that we could get her better just from the initial examination and treatment, right? And it brought like a confidence to her and to her mother, because parents go through a lot when they're watching their child go through this. It seems like it's a hopeless situation, and it's really scary because you start getting behind academically, and then a few weeks after we started getting her back to school, you had 20 tests or something like that that you had to catch up on?
I had a lot of tests.
You had a lot of tests, and she couldn't spend that much time on the computer, so we had to help her with letters to the school to help decrease the time that she was in a classroom, because loud noises affected you too, right? And when we took a tuning fork, remember when we brought it up to your ear, you're like, whoa, get that away from me. So like going back to school, and the classrooms are always loud, kids are like just having fun and talking and things like that. You couldn't do it that much, right?
No, and I have a very energetic teacher, and she's loud, and I love her, but it was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. I remember going through it with you. So we just started to treat her twice a week, 3 times a week sometimes, and we were very successful in getting her back to school, getting through the test, having her catch up, right?
Yeah.
And then really starting to have a real successful year.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
It's really, really kind of cool. And how are you feeling?
Good. I mean, I even think that her eyesight has improved from the beginning of the year, like prior to it, till now. That's improved. Her energy's back. Her giggly, laughable self is definitely back.
Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
she's not faking it.
No, she's definitely like a fun, energetic child. So I'm glad to see all that back, because as a parent, like you said, you do worry when you see them kind of go into that slight depression and stuff like that. So I'm so glad that that's all back, and she's back to straight A's. She's back to, being active and very present in school and doing everything that she used to do. So we're very pleased.
And she's a driver, all right?
Yes.
Non-concussed driver. So she drives really good,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
So young, responsible drivers on the road right now,
Yep.
right? And how many weeks have you been driving?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. She looks really good in the car too. So thank you very much. So if you know anyone that has been concussed, cheerleaders at the base where she was, her position was the base where she catches people as they fly through the air. Cheerleaders get hurt more than any other sport out there. It really is a demanding sport, worse than football actually. And soccer and all those other crazy sports, cheerleaders really go through it. So when they get back to cheerleading, then they should be better than ever, right?
Yeah.
A lot more stable, being able to do the sport at a higher level. So you know anybody that's been in cheerleading, volleyball, football, basketball, soccer, or any sport where they've been injured and had a head injury, and they're not quite where they want to be in their life, they're not back to their peak performance, then send them on in. This is Hope Brain and Body Recovery Center. It's 610-544-9800, and we can design a plan for you, all right? And thanks so much for Lily and Amy for coming in and having them be part of my family and part of our lives too.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much.
Yeah, thank
Bye-bye.
you.